So today we are doing something a little bit different. As you can maybe tell, there's something wrong with my keyboard on this laptop. I've had this for 3 years now, and I thought, oh, maybe it's time to clean the keyboard. So I pulled all of the keys out and cleaned everything, but I was not careful enough, and I bent and broke some of these metal pieces that hold the key mechanism. So I have to replace the whole keyboard. So these two keys aren't working. Well, they are working, but the keys don't hold on there anymore. So I've got myself a replacement keyboard, a set of keyboard screws, because this is not a nice repair. You basically have to remove everything from the inside of the computer, and the keyboard is fixed with little plastic pieces onto the case. And when you take the keyboard out, those plastic pieces break. But the plastic pieces are actually in places where you can put a screw in. So you also need a set of these little tiny screws to replace the keyboard. So I got both of these things from China, from eBay. The keyboard was about 20 euros and the screws about 2 euros or something like that. So yeah, this will not be a tutorial because there are already loads of tutorials out there. So this will be more like a vlog kind of video. So yeah, let's hope that everything goes well. And you need some tools. You need the special pentalobe screw driver for the MacBook bottom, and then you need small Torx screws, T5 I think. I hope this is small enough. I hope that's the right one, but we will see. So let's get started. So the bottom is off. For the first thing, let's disconnect the battery. Whoopee. Okay, and I think now it's time to disconnect all the other cables like these, and other small pieces like these, and then we have to take the whole logic board out, and also the speakers, and the speakers are glued on there. So the battery is not glued, it's screwed on there, which is nice. But yeah, the speakers are glued, and I hope I can replace them without gluing them back in. So yeah, let's just see. Okay, so I got the fan out, and I think it doesn't look too bad, but I think I will give it a little bit of a clean. And yeah, for all the screws, I have some papers here. And for example, the SSD screw is here. Here are the fan screws. These are from the case. These are from the motherboard. I've disconnected some cables like the Wi-Fi cable here, but there are so many little cables. For example, these for the speakers. And yeah, I have a iFixit guide here for the top cover. They don't have one for the keyboard, but for the top cover. And I also have a YouTube video which I watch. I post the links down in the description for you. So the next little part is out, and this is the I/O board from the left side. Nice, we're making progress. And the battery is out. This is actually quite heavy. So yeah, most of the computer is the battery. Just a small part is the logic board. So nice, there's a little bit of dust there. So I have to clean it before putting it back in. Progress. The logic board is out. There are a lot of small cables. You have to be very careful. And yeah, but it's out. And this is what it looks like from the back. I hope I didn't broke something, but I was super careful. I think the next step are the speakers. Okay, so the speakers are out. This was the hardest part until now, because they are stuck in here with adhesive, and you have to be really careful to not break them, because if they break, they sound like shit. So At least that's what the guy in the video told. Yeah, be careful when taking these out. Also be careful with the microphone cable, which is right above the speaker on the right side. Oh, autofocus was off. Yeah, here you can see it. And now it's time to take off this plastic back cover for the backlight. Now this was also a nasty piece of work, getting the backlight off of the keyboard. So at some places this foil easily rips, but the guy in the video said that this is not a big problem. Also in here it's ripped at some points, like here or here a lot. Here the important thing is to get it lined up properly when you have the replacement keyboard in. I hope that this is true and it still works. I was very careful as I could be, but yeah, let's see whether it worked afterwards. So now I have to take out all of these little screws here, and here in the middle you can see the plastic pieces that will be ripped out. So let's go ahead and do this. Okay, so all the screws are off. So these are a lot of screws, and now comes the worst part, because now you just have to rip this out of here. So this is what it looks like after it's ripped out. And here are all of these tiny little holes where the screws go in, and in some places there's something stuck in there, and we have to get this out before we can screw the screws in. This is just it's awful. So the new keyboard fits perfectly in here, and now we can screw everything back in after cleaning everything of these little pieces that are flying around from the old keyboard here. So all the screws are in. Now this took a while. These are about 100 screws, so I put a little paper in here to protect the screen. Yeah, looks like new. It feels a little bit different than the original keyboard. It also sounds a little bit different, but maybe that's because it's not everything is back in there yet. Yeah, it's alright. I can live with that. Let's put this thing back together now. So most of the stuff is back in. Only a few stuff is missing, like the battery. Good progress so far, good progress. Let's hope that it works. Whew, everything is screwed back together. So the thing that's left now is plug in the battery. Put the bottom cover back on. And let's give it a boot and hope that everything works. So I heard the fan ramping up. There we go. Okay, trackpad is working. Keyboard is working. Nice, nice, nice. Let's see whether the backlight is working. So the backlight seems also to be working. Nice. Okay, so everything seems to be working fine. That's awesome. Let's open TextEdit here really quick, and let's just give this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Nice, so everything really seems to be working. Oh, I'm glad. Yeah, here you can hear the sound of the keyboard. It's a little bit different, but feels nice. Oh, So I'm really glad that this worked. Now let's screw the bottom back on there and then we'll be finished. Okay, so everything is screwed back together, so that's done. Now this took me around 75 minutes, I think, to do the whole repair, to clean the stuff a little bit. And yeah, I took my time and did everything carefully because I didn't want to break anything, and this stuff is sometimes really small. The connectors are really small screws and stuff like that, but it's doable if you have the right tools. So you need the pentalobe screwdriver for the bottom, and Torx T5 screwdriver for most of the other screws, and then a small Phillips screwdriver for the keyboard screws. And well, that's it. Then you're good to go and you can do this. So yeah, I'm glad that everything works, and yeah, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.